Hey Capricorn, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. So general readings, we take what works, we leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And if I don't catch your wavelength here, check your sun, moon, rising, Venus, other major placements. Those are your major placements. So check those other things. See if we catch your wavelength there. We are grateful for the clear, helpful message we're about to receive for Capricorn. Oh no. Okay, well, we have the red garden here. This is, things have changed pretty dramatically in your life, but you're looking at the past, you're seeing it's a little bit skewed, something a little bit different. Your heart's ready to move on, heart's ready to go to the future. You've grown and changed in ways that are both obvious to everybody and also a very private kind of way that you haven't really shared with anybody. And somehow this has to do with something that happened in your past, and you're still pretty much looking at it, and it's still affecting how you think about things and how you view things. It's not really a secret though. It's like, yeah, everyone's like, yeah, well, that happened and it changed them profoundly. But how you're viewing something in the past isn't necessarily accurate. You've got, well, this has rose-colored glasses on, but I found with this card, it could be rose-colored or it could be something else. Like it could just be a skewed vision of the past. Right now, you are, well, this thing happened in the past. It was a swelling, an upwelling of emotions, a flood. And you thought you were going to sail that. Here you are, you're like 12 years old, and you thought you were going to be a captain of this great, amazing ship. And you were going to sail and ride this wave. But then when the flood waters receded, you got stranded up here. You're stuck. There's a little bit of humiliation here. You might be feeling a little embarrassed about what's happened. Spirit sees you. There is this rainbow eye in the sky here. Spirit sees you and understands what happened and sees what happened. But you're stranded, and there's nobody looks at this and is like, well, it's clear what needs to be done, because it's not clear what needs to be done. There's no clarity here at all. It's not clear. And, you know, you were a little gung-ho there for a minute, and probably more excited and more emotion than you had sense. So you didn't really study the books. You didn't really apprentice first. You didn't do all the things that you were supposed to do to become an actual captain. You just felt very confident of yourself, and you were going to confidently captain this ship. I mean, what more could there possibly be to life than just having confidence? And you had plenty of it, but now you're stuck, and it's a little embarrassing. The good thing about this, though, is that you are you're either going to quit sailing, or you're going to go back and you're really going to learn the parts that you missed that got you up here. You're really going to go back and study, because that's something that studies have shown, actually, is that if we take a test before we study for it, we can take just knowing what's on that test and knowing what we need to know and knowing what we didn't know when we took the test, even if we failed the test. Well, now we go back and we study, and we're much better, much more efficient at studying, much clearer on what we need to know. Because here we didn't know what we didn't know, and now we know what we don't know, and we need to find out. And we're a little embarrassed, but there's no point in that. Everybody makes some enthusiastic mistakes in our lives. So. And then we have protective nest. So you have some ideas up here and you're not sharing them. And you have also a project, possibly in real life, and you're not sharing that. But these ideas and these projects have their own timeline. It's not up to you. It's not, we crack an egg from the outside, we kill whatever's inside. The egg has to be cracked from the inside. So the idea has to want to come out and has to be ready to emerge. And this project has to be ready to come out and ready to emerge. So it's going to tell you when it's coming out. But right now you're protecting it. You're protecting it until it's ready. So this is an important, you're the nest, you're the incubator, you're sitting here and you're protecting, and maybe it's all these lessons that you learned up here while making your enthusiastic errors. Maybe it has something to do with this past thing. But eggs have been laid, and they're going to hatch when they're ready to hatch. And your job is just to protect them and allow nature to take its course. All right. So I combined these two decks. I'm not sure if we're going to keep doing this or not. They're pretty big. They're pretty unwieldy. The Moonology deck and this Trust Your Light or Work Your Light Oracle deck. So far we don't have anything. All right, what do we got for Capricorn? What's Capricorn need to know this week? What's the useful thing for Capricorn? Okay. Perfection. Thank you. Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. I don't see anything in these other cards, but that's cool. It's happening. Creating a heaven on earth. This really lush garden, perfect combo of, land and sea. A lot of peace, tranquility, abundance, beauty. Heaven, you're going to get a little glimpse of heaven, which sounds awesome. Okay, we're going to move on to the tarot reading. Okay, Capricorn, this is your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's at issue? Your your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. In your recent past, you had the Star. So you had a lot of confirmation that you're on the right path. Wishes coming true, dreams coming true, maybe a little bit of this heaven happening here on earth, maybe this rushing water was a bit of a dream come true. But there was a lot of flow. You were in the flow. You were manifesting a dream. This is in your recent past. This is Star card. Dreams coming true. There might be a little bit of a public element to this card. We're seeing public humiliation with this card, but this is the other part, public praise. This is sort of my cheerleader card. You're just the universe cheering you on and like, yeah, you're on the right path. Keep going, keep doing it. In your present situation, it's requiring a lot of patience and a lot of strength. So you're really being called on to find that inner strength, stay strong, keep the faith. Even though this looks shitty, even though these haven't hatched yet, you're supposed to stay strong and keep the faith here. We have patience, fortitude coming to you, or not coming to you, but you need them right now. And you're working really, really hard to have that patience and that strength and being balanced while things unfold and things happen. Here, in your hopes and fears, you're afraid there's not enough. You're afraid of poverty. You're afraid of feeling left out, of being left out. This is a poverty of emotion, poverty of money. This could be lonely, forlorn. This is actually a very similar card to this. Stranded, abandoned. That's what you're afraid of that. That's really on your mind, is a real possibility here. Even though you've had this lovely confirmation, you're very worried about, and because it's your inner landscape, I'm wondering if you're worried about being emotionally abandoned or not having what it takes, not having what it needs. Maybe you didn't necessarily experience this, but you're afraid of this, and maybe you're afraid that these eggs aren't going to hatch. You're afraid you're never going to get out of this situation and get another chance to sail again. So yeah, you're afraid of being abandoned or left out in the cold. What's at issue is pretty much that. We have this reversed Empress. So not having what you need, not being nurtured, this is the Earth Mother energy, the Earth Goddess energy, upright of just abundance and having what you need, and you don't. You're not experiencing that abundance. You're experiencing this rush of abundance and then this lack of it. You're not experiencing the abundance right now. And it's actually exactly what you're afraid of, is this lack. And this is what's creating an issue for you. So it could be actually an internal issue, a mental issue, or this could actually be, something in your environment where you just don't have the money to do something, or you just don't have the resources to continue on with this, or to move the situation forward. You just don't have the resources, or maybe the self-confidence. I mean, because this has got you're pretty shook in this card here. In your environment, you have friends, family, singing, lots of community in your environment. You're sort of embedded and enjoying your community, enjoying sharing emotional aspects with people, enjoying your friends. Basically, Three of Cups is a friends card. You got a lot of friends around you, and that's your environment. You're enjoying your friends right now. Hopefully not more than 5 at a time, because we're in quarantine. Your to-do list is to be the wounded warrior. Keep fighting. You need this strength, right? Because you're going to have to keep going. Whether you have the money or not, or whether you feel like it or not, you just got to keep going. Whether these eggs hatch, how do you keep going? You're embarrassed and wounded, and this got all fucked up here. Here you got a little head wound. You'd like to be taking a nap. You'd like to be discharged from the army now and go home. But you got to keep going, and you got to keep fighting the good fight, staying strong, and holding on to your intuition, to your ideas, to your vision of what you'd like, even though you might be tired, you might be impoverished or lacking in some way, and you're feeling stranded, and these eggs aren't hatching, and something went wrong in your past here. You got to keep fighting. And a possible outcome is you free yourself. This is the Hanged Man. And so this is maybe nothing changes externally. Maybe we don't externally change, but the seeds are there, and we are changing internally here. So the Hanged Man is all about ripening, letting a situation ripen. Here we have these eggs here. We're letting them ripen. So you have to stay strong here. While a situation ripens. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be amazing, and it's going to be great. You've got this Lemuria heaven thing coming, which is pretty awesome, with everything you need. So even if you're experiencing a lack or afraid of a lack, and it's coming in, but it's not externally. So it looks like this could just be internally feeling like depleted, or like you don't have what you need, or just feeling hurt somehow and left out. And this is, so the situation isn't going to change immediately. You're not going to be free and running around, but you're in the process of freeing yourself, and you're in the process of ripening. So this week we're not experiencing heaven on earth per se. Our eggs are not hatching, but they are here. We aren't freeing ourselves. We're not ripe. We're not being plucked from the tree. Nothing external is changing, but the internal is changing, and the situation is changing. And we're being asked to be patient and to have strength as all of this changes, and to keep going, to keep having faith and keep believing and keep moving on. And then where we end up is the Hanged Man, which is like hanging out, but we're changing. Something's changing inside. The ripening is happening, and this whole process is going to be its own natural process, right? We're not going to interfere with it. We're not going to pick unripe fruit, because if we're fruit here, we got to wait till we ripen, and we're not going to pick it. We're not going to chop open these eggs and kill whatever's inside. We can't do a premature whatever. This is taking all of your strength to not prematurely expose these eggs or prematurely pick the fruit. It's taking all of your strength. So yeah, but there is we have several cards of abandonment, not having what you need. We have 2 cards of needing to be strong, even though you feel weak and don't feel up to it. And we have several cards of patience. And I hope this is where we're going, some sort of heaven on earth, but we've got several cards of needing to have patience and needing to let something ripen all by itself and all on its own. All right, Capricorn, that was a really quick reading, unusual for me, but here we are. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it's helpful for you and for your week. Thank you so much for your likes, comments, and subscribes. I do like interacting with you guys so much on the comments. I find that fun. And also it helps other people find the channel and helps with the algorithm and all that. So I really appreciate that. So I hope you have a wonderful week. It doesn't look like you get a lot happening, but you are going someplace pretty cool. But you are just going to have some patience and let the situation ripen. So I hope that works.